Let's get the latest now from Bloomberg's Stephen Nangle in Beijing. Steve.
Kathy, well, the Stern-Hu issue is an obvious concern of many nations, including the United States, as it could harm the foreign investment climate here in China. Really, what they want is more details. We really do not know the nature of this detention and also the nature of exactly what constitutes state secrets in this case. In a wide-ranging interview with Gary Locke, the U.S. Commerce Secretary, yesterday here in Beijing, we talked about Stern-Hu, also carbon emissions and the renminbi, but began by getting his reaction to China's better-than-expected GDP numbers.
Well, certainly they're doing a pretty good job of trying to solve their own economic problems, using their own stimulus proposals, emphasizing infrastructure construction, as well as encouraging more domestic consumption, and that appears to be working, and growth is rebounding. They still have severe unemployment problems. Exports, which is still a great part of their economy, are off dramatically from previous years. And it's going to take a while for the Chinese economy to recover, but I think you sense a air of optimism and determination. And we're also, of course, monitoring the U.S. economy. Our problems are perhaps deeper, more structural, and it will take perhaps longer to recover. But we're also seeing some improving signs in the U.S. economy as well.
How vital is it for the recovery of the Chinese economy to get that domestic consumption going for the U.S. economy and for the U.S. manufacturer and the U.S. products selling here? How is President Obama and U.S. authorities going to alleviate the U.S. trade deficit with China? You talk a lot, you're coming here about the clean technologies and cooperation. Is it realistic to get the Chinese to buy these?
The key is increasing our earnings, our income, as well as selling more. To create that income and to alleviate that trade imbalance. We need a strong, robust economy in China, especially if it is to be serious and move aggressively with respect to renewable energy, energy efficiency, conservation, and to combat global warming. That is a key priority for President Obama. He's very much concerned about global warming, and we want both China and the United States to take leadership roles among the developing and the developed countries in addressing climate change.
The Chinese authorities have pretty much halted the appreciation of the yuan over the past year. Some say that perhaps is to protect their exporters. What's your position? Do you want the continued appreciation of the yuan? Is it undervalued still?
Well, we believe United States policy has been very, very clear that the Chinese should not control their currency as tightly as they do, and that it should be able to float more freely. And we think that's in the interest of China and the rest of the world economy. But progress has been made over the last several years. Of course, we in the United States would like to see even more progress, but still we're encouraged by the progress.
How concerned are you by the detention of Stern-Hu, the iron ore head of Rio Tinto? What signal do you see this sending from the Chinese?
Well, first of all, the facts seem to be unfolding, and more facts and allegations unfolding virtually every hour. It's important that everyone have a complete set of facts and really understand what the allegations and what the issues are. But clearly the Australian government is deeply concerned about this and is, from all the accounts that I've seen, are pressing the Chinese with great intensity, with great deliberation and great concern. We just need, as Americans, to hope that the Chinese government and urge the Chinese government to follow rules of due process, transparency, the rule of law, afford, for instance, the Australian citizen access to the Australian representatives of the government. And we need to, everyone needs to know what the charges and allegations are.
Is this hurting the investment climate for foreigners, in particular American companies? You've been talking to American companies. What are their main concerns?
Well, until everyone knows the full set of facts, people don't know whether this is an isolated case or this is a problem within China, a widespread problem in China. But so far people are saying they don't know the facts of the case. They want more information, and until then we're going to have to withhold judgment.
Will you bring this up with Premier Wen Jiabao?
Well, we've already communicated our thoughts with some of the Chinese officials.
And their response?
We have not gotten a response back yet.